totally forgot to mention 2 weeks ago, that was the Home Again episode. Forgot to mention that was actually my 3-month anniversary of It Was Written, a project. Oh, wow, thank you. Appreciate that. Yeah, I don't know how I forgot to mention that, but yeah, uploaded my very first video episode January 8th. So yo, I'm like lightweight proud right now. I really am, because this is the first time in a long time that I've been so passionate about a thing. The first time in a while that something has, number one, just like come so naturally for me, and also like serves as an outlet in a sense of peace, since I began training, since like health and fitness became a huge part of my life. And I think well, I can't totally say that, because writing has always been a first love, but it was always something that was just so personal, like I never did it outside my house. Definitely never shared it with anyone. It was nothing that I ever deemed significant. Now I can't go. You can't take me anywhere without that journal. But fitness, when fitness came into play in my life, that was the first time that I saw something in me grow from like nothing to something. It was like this whole transformation happened right before my eyes. And not just physically, like I was like a whole new person. Seriously. So It Was Written, a project. It's like it's a branch off the writing journaling tree, but can definitely see it manifesting into something greater, and becoming like a huge part of my identity, the way health and fitness has. So pretty freaking dope. I'm proud. But even though I'm proud of myself, and not like in an ego way, if that makes sense, but even though I'm proud of myself, to be honest with you guys, lately I've been kind of unsure, like kind of like up and down about what this is and what I'm doing, because It Was Written, the project is not YouTube. You know what I mean? It's not its identity, is what I mean. And I say that because lately I've just been feeling, or like I've been asking myself, like, is this about YouTube? Like, is YouTube itself significant? You know what I mean? Am I supposed to be like trying to become some YouTuber? Because that is weird to me. I don't know why, but there is something very funky, not in a bad way, but there's something very just like, when I when I think about YouTube. Not generally speaking, but like on a personal level. Like, so like everybody has IG, everybody's on Instagram, but for some reason it feels very, or it seems very like outside the box to have a YouTube channel. Even though like I am always on YouTube, I love watching certain YouTube channels. And clearly there's mad people on YouTube, everyday people on YouTube, but I don't know anyone personally who has like a for real active YouTube channel. And if someone I knew personally told me they did have a YouTube channel, I'd be like, not so much if my sister or if my best friend told me they had a YouTube channel, I wouldn't be shocked. I would be more so just like intrigued. I'd be like, what are you doing over there? Like, what are you talking about? What are you saying? Like, why do we have a YouTube channel right now? Because it's not really like Instagram, where the people we know personally are essentially posting and talking about a bunch of nothing all day. I'd just be curious, because this platform, I think, does require a little more of you and a little more from you on like an intimate and like a personal level. There's usually like a specific reason why you would do something like this. Maybe it's me, maybe it's the channels that I watch, but I say all that because there's started to be a question to myself concerning what I'm doing exactly. So this is the thing. I know what I've been given. I know what I heard. I know what I felt in my spirit, and that began the birthing of It Was Written, the project. And because of what I mentioned just now, YouTube just seemed like the perfect platform to give back essentially what I've been given, you know. And it's been going really well. It's been going so well. So it's crazy that, you know, just recently I started to feel like, you know, like, what am I doing? What do you want from me? Because it just started, and this is legitimately like as of late, it started to get like slightly overwhelming because I was like, I know what you said. I know what you told me to do. This is my conversation with God. Share your story. That's what you said. And at first, I didn't question it. I just did it. And then as time progressed, I was like, you know, all right, I'm doing a whole lot. I'm saying a whole lot right now. Why again? Like, why do you want me to, like, what is this about to lead to exactly? I need to know. And the overwhelming part was trying to figure that out. The overwhelming part was, you know, like trying to put these pieces together for myself and like, maybe it's this, maybe it's this, maybe it's this, so let me do this. And this all began right when I was starting the process of mentally transitioning back home. So like late February. And it was kind of a sucky feeling because it was kind of like, I love doing this. Like I said, it feels so natural. It feels so much like who I am. But at the same time, it was a very like controlling feeling of like, because I'm always in a position of like, I don't want anything that I do to be in vain. So I was kind of like, all right, I'm here, I'm doing it. But I haven't heard anything from you since you told me to do it. So what's up? I feel sort of embarrassed because those thoughts weren't really even, or they weren't fully my thoughts. A lot of it came from just like the world, like outside. And entering into the second quarter of the year, the thoughts, those feelings, they shifted to me really feeling like I'm about to come out of one season. I'm coming out of one season and entering into another. The old season being blindness and the new season being clarity. And I'm going to come back around to this a little bit later because this episode isn't actually even about that. Not specifically anyway, but rather about another awesome accomplishment that I'm pretty proud of, which just happened yesterday, actually. So yesterday, I completed a 21-day fast, a 3-week fast. I'm so happy because baby girl I was struggling a little bit. Like the fast was mad simple, surprisingly, but it was a bit of a struggle. I was hungry, for sure. But in those 3 weeks, I gained so much clarity about so many things, and the up and down feeling that I was having about It Was Written a Project, that is one of the things that I gained clarity on. A friend of mine, Jeff, he called me 2 days ago just to check up on me, and he asked about the project, which he's been a huge supporter of It Was Written a Project since day one. Shout out to Jeff. But he just wanted to know, you know, like, how was it going? How was I feeling about it? And what's next? And kid you not, that was like the 4th time that I had heard what's next in like the past month, which is what I meant when I said like the thoughts and the feelings, like they weren't completely mine. But before he asked me that question, when I got asked before, it was kind of like, not so much intimidating, I don't know the word I'm looking for, but I did not have an answer to the question. And, you know, that made me feel like, okay, you need to get an answer to this question. Like, before somebody else asks you, you need to know what's next? But by the time I spoke to him, I was, 2 days out from the end of my fast, and I had I had so much more clarity, so much more insight and peace about It Was Written, the project specifically. I mean, it was crazy because before I was about ready to boss up on God, like, they asking, they ask me, Lord, I'm gonna need an answer. So when I get this question from him, I just start going off, because now I got something to say. I'm like, funny you should ask because I've been fasting, and all these things, well, not all these things, but some things are really starting to come to the light. A lot of things that I've been struggling with, like light is being shown. Help me. The light is shining. His response, though, I was sort of taken aback by, because he was so intrigued by my fast. He was so interested in what I did, what I fasted, how I fasted, why I was fasting, what I gained from it, which you already know I thought was super dope, because number one, there is no one way to fast. And just like that awareness and like wanting to gain a different perspective is huge, especially if this is your first fast, or you kind of like failed at fasting before. And he's asking these questions because he is on I want to say like beginning again, with his walk with God. So I'm answering these questions, and he started hitting me with, yo, I never saw it like that before. Yo, you really touched on something right there. And I'm over here like, dang, I must be really saying something. Jeff is also, though, he has this sort of like introspectiveness about him that I love, because it's kind of like me. So a lot of times when we talk, that is the vibe. But like, he got me super excited just by him being so genuinely interested in asking questions. What did I do? What did I learn? And I kind of like knew from there, I'm like, yo, this is something that I need to share. I really want to share this experience with you guys, and not just this one, but like past fasts that I absolutely botched, ones that didn't go as smooth, ones that left me more confused than enlightened, and there's just so many things that I want to touch on. I was actually going to do that today, but this topic really needs its very own episode one, to get really candid, and just touch on things like why I fasted then and now, what I did wrong, what I wish I knew then, the changes I made for the makings of this fast, the difference in outcome, and just kind of like everything in between. And also, of course, the clarity and the peace I gained about It Was Written, the project. So if you guys have any questions about my fast or fasting in general, drop them in the comments below. I would love to include them and answer them next week. They'll obviously be from, my perspective and my experience. But I am so ready, and I hope that you guys will participate. It's about to get real vulnerable over here. So I am going to go ahead and get prepared for next week. I am actually really excited to share this story, along with like little nuggets that I picked up along the way. Do me a huge favor. Continue to embrace vulnerability. Continue to share your own stories. Do not forget to leave your questions in the comments below. Share with a friend if you enjoyed this episode. And I guess to be continued. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I will see you next week.